Hello my dear viewers, welcome to my channel. My name is Rita and in today's video I'm gonna share with you my story of keto dieting, how it actually works, like why we can eat a greater amount of calories on keto diet and not gain weight, how keto diet can cause diabetes and even your fail in coma. So I've learned a ton of literature because I wanted to find answers to all these questions. So if you're interested in, please stay with me. So first of all, I'm gonna figure out the main terms. The caloric deficit. You know that all of the diets works because of you consume less calories than you use. So if you use less calories than you spend, it is called hypocaloric state. So second term is ADP. It's a universal fuel for our body. Our body works only on it. There's also a secret. Our body produces about 40 kilograms of ADP during the whole day. Of course, the most preferable way to synthesize ADP is carbohydrates, because the digesting process of carbohydrates needs much less energy. The third term is gluconeogenesis. It's the process of creating new glucose from other, let's say, tissues of our bodies. It can be synthesized from amino acids and from fat acids. So if our body lacks carbohydrates, it synthesizes it by itself with the help of gluconeogenesis. So I want to share with you two enlightening stories about keto diets. First happened to me and second happened to my granny. So about me, it was about second week of my keto dieting, and it was during the training. I felt really bad. I was lethargic. I was kind of dizzy. From minute to minute, my state, like my well-being, got worse. And as you guess, the training ended that I lost consciousness. And then I woke up in the doctor's office and I drank a great amount of sweet water. And then, my well-being improved. And second story happened with my granny. She has type 2 diabetes. So in one day, her well-being kind of decreases, like she felt really bad. She had a very slurred speech. So we transported her to a hospital. And her skin was very bloated, even that the doctor couldn't find veins there. Her blood sugar kept decreasing, like we didn't know what to do. And then she was transported to a reanimation, and there she was injected glucose. And yes, her well-being improved. But what teach us these two stories? Both my well-being and the well-being of my granny was so bad because we had a very low blood sugar. So you think our body can work on ketones? That's not true. Just by lowering our sugar to certain numbers, we can fall into hypoglycemia and then even in coma. So when our body doesn't get enough glucose, it starts synthesizing it from other tissues. But if your body lacks carbohydrates, it synthesizes them only like the basic amount that we need. All your internal processes slow down. So these two stories show us that our body can't work on ketones. Like if you transition to a keto diet, your body uses only a small amount of ketones, but mostly we get energy because of gluconeogenesis. But how actually works keto diet? Like why we can consume the same amount of calories and don't gain weight? There are two explanations. The first explanation is that fat is absorbed worse than carbohydrates. Like if we put something sweet on our tongue, all these carbohydrates are also absorbed by all our oral cavity and then in our stomach. So we absorb 100% of all carbohydrates we consume. But the situation with fat is kind of different. Fat is absorbed much worse than carbohydrates. So about 70% of fat only can be absorbed, and about 30% of fat just get out of our body, not giving us any energy. So let's get back to our basic terms. If we consume less calories than we use, we are in a hypocaloric state. And one more question: why carbohydrates are absorbed better than fat, and why fat is absorbed so bad? The answer is obvious. When we were hunters and gatherers, we ate only carbohydrates and proteins. Of course, we got some amount of fat from maybe nuts or those killed animals, but it was a very small amount of fat. That's why our organism doesn't know how to absorb fat. And second explanation is gluconeogenesis. This process also needs a great amount of energy. Keto diet is kind of a good diet when we are talking about small periods of time. But what happens with your body if we are talking about long periods of time? The thing is that if you consume a great amount of fats, and to stop consuming carbohydrates, first of all, your body uses your glycogen from muscles and leaven. But if you consume a great amount of fat, your leaven starts storing all that fat in its cells. But if you consume a great amount of fat, your leaven starts storing that fat in its cells. And what can happen with your leaven then? These cells that are full of fat, they become insulin resistant, and that's why when you then start eating carbohydrates, you can get type 2 diabetes, because the cells of your leaven are already insulin resistant because they are full of fat. And it's an irreversible process. We can't get back our cells of leaven to their previous state. That's why you just killed a great amount of cells of your leavens by the diet. So what's the conclusion of this video? Please don't stick to keto diet for long periods of time, because it can harm your health so much. It can make some sense if you need to lose a great amount of weight or fat during a small period of time. As a long-term diet is a very bad idea, because it really has bad consequences for our health. So if you liked my video, please share it with your friends. You will help me so much, because it's my first video in English. I know that I did a lot of mistakes. I'm sorry, but I hope you understood me. Thank you for watching.